there's no reason why property registration takes so long. Shouldn't take so long, but it does. And but it also varies from deeds office to deeds office. I remember in the past we've had issues where it takes very long. Other times it doesn't take so long. Depends. Your conveyancing or transferring attorneys will tell you, this deeds office is quick, or this one's slow, or this one's. But each property has a deed, which is a physical piece of paper. We haven't gone and tokenized it yet and put it on the blockchain and all that stuff that people are talking about. But you've got a piece of paper. If you want to buy the property from me, I've effectively got to sell the property, and the only thing that guarantees that it's my property and it's now becoming yours is the deed, title deed. That title deed is something that you hold. You've got to keep it safe. If you lose it, it's not the end of the world. You can apply for a new one. But that's very important that you have that. And on that, it says who the owner is. It says Knowles Coetzee is the owner of Earth so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. The title deed will also have other things on it that might be restrictions. You can have a thing that says you're not allowed to build a house more than 2 stories, or there's a pipeline running under this property and you mustn't disturb it, or something. There's title deed restrictions. So the deeds office is there to record who owns the properties. And they do the new, they transfer the titles to new people. So at first it was Knowles, then they make a new title and they say now it's Faith, or now it's this. So for you to have a transfer, the title deed goes to the deeds office, or they record it. They have the record of it, so you don't have to physically give it to them. And you say this property's now been sold. You give them the sale contract. You have to pay your rates and taxes. So that's called a clearance certificate. So if you haven't paid your electricity bill and you haven't paid your taxes on the property for a while, you need a clearance certificate from the municipality before the deeds office will transfer the property. So you give that to the deeds office, your conveyancing attorney does that, goes to the deeds office. They're supposed to look at everything and review all the stuff, all the documentation, and say cool, and then they transfer the deed to the new person. So that process is, I'm not an expert in the deeds office, but it's something that is quite laughable sometimes. Sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the guys are on strike, sometimes they lose your deeds. So the reason why it can take so long is, unfortunately, it's a government thing. And we all know how local and provincial and national government is fairly inefficient in our country. I guess in most countries. So that's the problem. That's why it takes time. Let's say you are signing a contract, you and I sign a contract today that you're going to pay me. And then, according to the contract, you are paying today. So you have to deliver guarantees. Now, you don't pay me the money into my account because you haven't got possession of the property yet. So how it typically is done, you have to deliver guarantees, which means you either go to your bank and your bank says, okay, Faith has got the money for this property. We issue a letter saying on transfer. So when the title deeds get transferred, when the deeds office says transfers occurred, then the bank will pay the money to you. Or what usually happens, you put the money, purchase amount, into the conveyancing attorney's account. They've got a trust account, which is supposedly, it should be safe, which is fairly safe. It's insured and all of that. You put your money in there, and that attorney will only transfer the money to the seller once the title deed has been transferred into the buyer, into the purchaser's name. So that's like a simultaneous process. Provided you put your money in, or the guarantees are issued, which can take a while if the bank has to issue it. But I would say on average 2 to 3 months, if everything's done correctly. You can have things where the municipality doesn't want to give you your rates clearances because also their system is down, or this or that, or they say to you, hey, you've got to pay a shitload of money because your rates and taxes are behind. And then you go, well, hold on, I've been paying every month. So there's all of these things that can happen. So you've got to factor in clearance time from the municipality. You've got to factor in the attorneys have to do their job. They have to go and submit the stuff at the deeds office, draft the contracts, the transferring documents, all of that. You've got to sign, the purchaser's got to sign. If a bank's involved, if they're going to finance a transaction, they've got to provide guarantees. So all of these things adds up. And then when it goes to the deeds office, they've got to be running efficiently. But it's not just their fault. There's a lot of things that have to fall in place. But I would allow 2 months.